Well, here we are on the 2T01 Exeter St David's to Paignton. It's 4:56 in the morning. It's the first service out, and we're going to be driving a Class 150 on this journey. Okay, so let's get started. Let's see what happens. And as you can see, it's a dark morning out there. Let's just set up the cab quickly. There we go. Let's get these doors unlocked, I guess. And let's have a look outside, shall we? As you can see, it's quite dark still. It's a very dark morning. Mind you, it is 4 o'clock in the morning. And we've got our very first ever service going out. There is another service over here that you can see. There's another 150 that's not in service that will eventually at 5:20 in approximately about half an hour's time to Exmouth. I don't know what we've got coming in over here. London Waterloo. There you go. You've got one coming in shortly. Looks like we are the first service out of here though, which is nice. There's a lot of trains going from this. Yeah, look at this one. That's going. That's us. Oh, I thought that was a different train. What am I doing? Okay, here we go. Over here. And we've got another painting in about half an hour's time. But we are ready to depart. So let's go. We are off on our journey. Quite a busy schedule, as you can see. We're stopping at most stations along the route. It's going to take us a while to get here, but we are going to do it. And we are off. It's very dark out there today. You can barely see anything on our route. You can see a little bit in the distance there. You can see there is something going on. There's a bit of light in the background.
The next station is Exeter St Thomas. This is a Great Western Railway service to Paignton.
I love the new improvements to the actual sound. I love that. I find that so good. That is one of my favourite things on this now. Is that they've improved it. I mean, you think every train sim, well, something different happens. That, there's always a vast improvement that you just think, wow, to. And I think that is definitely something that has improved with the passenger announcements. I love that a lot. So we're just literally up the road now from Exeter St Thomas. There's quite a lot of Exeter stations, believe it or not. There is quite a lot. But we're going to arrive in this one. Just coming in. Oh, hit the emergency brake lights up there. One of my classic trends. We're just coming in to Exeter St Thomas. It's a nice little station, isn't it? A bit of break. See if we can get this right. I always love trying to test myself to try and get it to the exact point. Oh, a little bit short. Let's open these doors though. Through the trees we go onto the platform. Is anyone going to get on or off? Oh yeah, look, there's a few people getting off. Not many, but there's a few getting off. I don't know if we can have many getting on though. Not many getting on. I think we can probably go and get on with our journey. A little bit of time for that. And we're off. back off our route. Now we're going to go to Marsh Barton, which I think is a new station. It hasn't been in operation that long. It's quite a relatively new one. Not quite sure generally what the point of it was. Maybe there was a big gap between stations, or maybe there was an influx of people living at Marsh Barton. I don't know. But apparently it is a new station, and there is a scenario where you get to the opening, or get to go to the opening of the Marsh Barton station, which is a very interesting route, I must say. I do thoroughly enjoy that. It's a very good one, and it's a good scenario because you get to see all these photographers and stuff. It's ridiculous, really. It's a ridiculous scenario, but it's good fun. You have to sort of go all the way up to Dawlish and back again just to do a turnaround, which I find really it's quite exciting. And we do get to speeds of 100 along here, so this is something that I really like as well about this route, is that there are some fast kind of routes. So,
We are now approaching Marsh Barton. Please mind the gap between the
which I really do like. So, I do like routes with fast protocols on it. We are coming in a little bit fast here. Hopefully, I think I didn't realise how. Oh dear, this isn't good. Let's emergency brake it, people. Let's emergency brake it. Oh, I think we're going to overcut this station. Oh, that's bad. Oh, it's really bad. Let's get those doors unlocked. Well, I think what we can see, if you're in the first carriage. Oh no, I don't. Yeah, if you're in the first carriage, you're buggered. You're walking down into no man's land. So you're gonna have to walk through the train. Let's get out of here before we get our collars felt. Oh dear. Always worth a laugh. People always say to me, you always leave early before the time. And do you know what? I don't care. At the end of the day, am I driving the train? Yes. Am I getting there on time? Yes. What difference does it matter? All I'm doing is doing the journey. So, at the end of the day, I don't care if I'm late or early, really. It's a game. You can do what you like, I've got to stations before we see we're at the top there where it says load passengers. I've actually got to the next station before that's even changed. So I've always been like one station ahead sometimes, and it's hilarious. And it winds players up when they see me do it, because they think, we don't like doing that and stuff. And I'm thinking, do you know what? You can jog on. I play the game for a bit of fun. I'm not going to be so damn serious and think to myself, do you know what? I'm going to stop at every station on time, leave dead on time. What's the point? I mean, if I'm there and I'm ready to go, I'm going to go, right? That is as simple as that. So as you can see, we're not going to actually see much from this nighttime kind of version. But it's the first time I think I've done a nighttime route for you guys. And I feel like it needed to be done. But yeah, there isn't really much to see on a nighttime journey. I mean, you can see parts of it, but it's much better during the daytime. But you know what? I like doing the nighttime routes, especially the early morning routes, because gradually you'll see the sunrise and stuff like that. It's really good, especially if you do back-to-back journeys. It's quite fun, and I guess that's what I like about it, really. A lot of people says, another question people ask me, and they ask me a lot, is do you play the scenarios, and do you do ticket inspections? And I do ticket inspections occasionally, but I find ticket inspections a little bit boring at times, because all you're doing is running up and down the train, and for me it gets a little bit tedious, and I don't know, I'm not a big fan of collecting the tickets, to be honest with you. It's a good idea, but I find it increasingly boring. But I do it occasionally. I do it occasionally. So we've got about 4 miles, or just under 4 miles, to get to Starcross, which is a fantastic little place. I do like this route a lot. I mean, visually, it is pretty aesthetically pleasing. And let's just, if I just get out of my seat, I'll just show you around. So this is the carriage. As you can see that you've got all this up here. There's a gentleman there sitting. It's quite a nice. Quite nice. You've got like the toilets here, which is quite nice. They've built the train very well. You know, it is quite good. You know, you've got the fire extinguishers, and you've got the door locks and the emergency locks up here, and then you've got this bit here, which is the guard panel, which is always good. Tables, you know, you can sit down if you like and have a little meander, but it is good fun. It is a good little. They've designed the train very well. It's a very good, and you know, this is an improvement on the last 150 we had on the Cornwall route, which I felt was very sluggish when it comes to how the design and the concept was. I found it very sluggish for a train. I find the 150 a very pleasing train to drive now, as where before I really hated it. And you know, I used to sort of, on purpose, I used to avoid playing that Cornwall route because I didn't like the train. So I think they've made some vast improvements, to say the least, on the line and on the train itself. I like it a lot. I think they've done a really good job. You can just see the sea just outside here on the side here. Look, we've got the sea, and I've actually gone across that side of the sea right up to that island on the other side in the daytime. It's quite interesting how far you can go off the map, which I don't think you're meant to. Right, we are coming into the wonderful Starcross. I'm going to see if I can slow down a little bit now. I don't want to overshoot this. We've been known to do that before. Give a little whistle. Slow down a little bit. Starcross. Here we go. What a weird name for a station. Don't you think it's a strange name? Starcross. Wow. We'll have a little look around Starcross station while we're there, because we're a little bit early, so we'll have a little gander at the Starcross now. I think we're coming in a bit too fast again, personally, but no, I think we're going to make this one. Let's see if we can get this one dead on. Here we go. Let's see if we can do it. It's very rare that I can get this dead on. Oh, that's not bad. It's not perfect, but it's on. Let's have a little look around Starcross while we're here. So you can see along here you've got some boats, which I'm going to go out to on this jetty. See, there we go. Look, some boats there, which is nice. And you got like this lovely roadway outside, which I find really good. Like, you know, maybe a bit too many cars for like 5 o'clock in the morning, maybe. But as you go around here, you can see you've got to collect these helmets, and you've got to collect the maps as well, and these fire extinguishers. And at the end of each station, I'm not sure if it's on this one, but there's normally like a cannon. I don't know what the cannons are to do with the route. I mean, I don't even know if this has got a cannon. I don't think this has. It probably has somewhere, I probably haven't found it. But yeah, you get like cannons that you can release, and it fires these sort of random fireworks, which if I get a chance, I'll show you one. But we're off anyway. We're off a bit early again. In fact, we're off about a minute and a half early. But look, we want to get to Dawlish Warren, so we've got a job to do. But there we go. Look, we're leaving Starcross, and here's the route map. For anyone that's interested, this is it. This is the route. So, you know, you come down, like Dawlish Warren, and we're going down to Paynton, so it's quite a nice straight route. But you can actually go towards Plymouth on this route as well, which is the faster trains, which I will say is a bit mediocre. I would say it's a bit mediocre. That they are very long-winded routes, and the problem with that is that when you get on one of those routes, you'll find that you'll find that you're on the train for quite a while, going for like 16 miles with virtually nothing to do. They're good enough routes, but they're a bit boring. I've got to be really in the mood to do those longer routes to Plymouth, because you stop at like 4 stations. So I think you go straight from Exeter to Newton Abbot, which is an awfully is about 16, 17 miles. It's a long route. It don't take long, but it does get a bit monotonous. So I tend not to do them routes as much as I like these local routes. These are more fun to do, and I think that's the point of it. But it's pretty good. Dawlish Warren's very interesting. You're going to see something very interesting at Dawlish Warren, actually. And you'll see what I mean when we get there. It's really it's really nice. Dawlish Warren is beautiful. There's a nice little touch that they've made on it, and I think they've done a really, really grand job at making it look really good, which I find really aesthetically pleasing. Now we've got a red signal coming up here. I don't know why, but we're going to slow down for it. Maybe it's because we're a bit early. We are about 3 minutes early, to be honest with you, so I'm not surprised they're stopping us from going ahead. But there's a real nice thing that they've added to Dawlish Warren to give it a little bit of style. There we go. We can go in again. Seamless. We'll slow them down for it. I think that's one of those annoying signals that you get on this game. I've noticed it on the Blackpool route, that you have to slow down for a certain signal, and then it allows you to go through, and it's like, you break my speed. You can see something vaguely peering in the distance now. You'll probably see that. But is that a Ferris wheel I see? It is. This little Ferris wheel thing is a... I actually looked on maps actually to see this. This is actually there outside Dawlish Warren. It actually exists. I might actually put a little picture of it actually on the screen now for you. You can actually see it actually does exist just outside Dawlish Warren Station. It never used to be there. It's been added, I think. But it's like a little fairground kind of thing. It's very interesting. And I guess this is the Dawlish Eye. I don't know what you'd see from this wheel that high. I might have to review it and see whether it's worth going on it. But here we go. We're into Dawlish Warren. A very basic station. But either side, in the middle there, we got the fast tracks as well, which is always handy. Oh, look at that. I think that's perfect, that one. Right, let's have a little look over this fairground to show you what it looks like, because this is really good. Look at this. So you've got a power slide. You've got the pirate ship, which is just amazing. And then you've got the wheel. I don't know if this goes round. I hope it does. I have never seen it go round. Here's the Dawlish Eye. Or what? I mean, if we could only get up that high, so I mean the views would probably be quite nice, I'd imagine. And yeah, it's a really nice touch to the game. I really like it a lot. It's a really good thing. Listen, they've even put some funfair noise on it. I don't think the funfair would be running at 5:15 in the morning, but you know what? It's fun. It is fun, and it does add a little bit of fun to the game, and it is a nice touch. But our train is just departing from Dawlish Warren, as you can see. So we're off to Dawlish next, where I've spent many a good family holidays in the years. Lovely little place. And we're off. I do like these little touches that they do put into it. I mean, I know a lot of people give Dovetail Games a bit of stick for the way that they produce the games and stuff like that. I know they get a lot of stick for things, but do you know what? Generally, when they add little touches like that to games, it does make me think, you know, it's them little touches that really make the game a little bit extra special, you know. Okay, they do get things wrong. They ain't always perfect, as we know. But when they do things like that, it does put a little smile on my face. It's like, oh, that's nice. You know, they've actually put a bit of effort into it to think, oh, there is a fairground there. Let's make it like a fairground, you know, which, you know, I find really good. It's just those little touches, Now, normally, this sea line that you can just about see, that we're driving against, normally if the wind's up, you get crashes of sea splashing over the trains, and if you look online, there's many videos of it happening. But it's such a beautiful sight to see, and the trains just go through it as if it's an everyday occurrence. It's beautiful, but it is fun. It is fun, and this is a really nice route. And I'm sorry I'm taking you on a nighttime journey, but I do like the nighttime, especially the early morning journeys. As I've already said, I like seeing the sunrise. It's quite fun. But I'm trying to give you as much visualization as I can see here, and I hope that it's not too distracting for you, that it's nighttime. But you know, if anything, it's going to tease you to play more. I will do a daytime route of this. I'll do a shorter version, and you can see what it looks like. Maybe we'll go on foot and have a look at the stations, eh? There we go, we're coming in Dawlish. This is a nice station, actually. I like Dawlish Station. It's really a nice. It's a nice place as well. So it's double bubble for me. I'm trying to look out for one of those cannons. I think I've just located one, so I'm gonna show you what the cannon does. I think. Oh, I think that's almost perfect again. Let's have a quick look around Dawlish Station very briefly, because it's like built on the sea wall. There it is. There's the cannon. What it does? Hey, hey. I don't get it. If anyone can tell me why the cannons are significant to this route, please let me know. You've even got working lifts, because you can actually call the lifts as well, which I like. The lifts come up, as you can see, there it is, and then you can actually get in the lift, and then you can actually go down in the lift, which it won't take me in the lift because I'm on this weird thing. But look, you can see the lift shaft. They've done quite well in building the lift shaft. I mean, I don't know if I can. Oh, there, I can get out. That's all right, I can get out. But it's a nice. I like, these are the things that I like. These little touches of, you know, just them little things, just make the game a lot better. Right, let's get out of here. We've wasted too much time in Dawlish Station. We've got to get a move on. We actually might leave this station a little bit early, actually. About 15 seconds too early. We don't want to be leaving on time now, do we? But off our train goes into the lights of the Dawlish area. There you go, look at that. Accent hotspot. That's interesting. So these stairs are an accent hotspot. Interesting. That, yet again, is another touch that I like. You know, that they put things like that on there. You know, things that you wouldn't know, but it's aesthetically pleasing to see signs of accent hotspots, which you would never dream of seeing on any of these routes. You know, it's like, oh, is it an accent hotspot? Okay, you know, you learn things as well. It's like a learning thing. I really like that sort of thing. It really does make me happy. Now we're going into a tunnel here, and I remember seeing this tunnel when I was in Dawlish Station. I remember seeing it, but it's a nice little tunnel, as you can see. I mean, it is just a tunnel. There's nothing too exciting about a tunnel, right? Right, okay, so we're off to Teignmouth now. Another wonderful place. This is the tunnel, look at that. It's a nice little tunnel. I wouldn't want to break down in it, but you know, it's good. You can just see that it's starting to get a bit lighter outside. It's slightly getting a bit lighter. You can see that there is some lightness across the way. There you go, look at that. Looking across the bay there, you can actually see that there is some light appearing, which is rare, you could say, but you look at that sea, look across there, look at that. It's lovely. Now we're not that far from Teignmouth, to be honest with you. We're about 1.5 miles away. And when you do this route, you don't realise just how close some of these stations are. It's quite very local. Like, most things are within 4 miles of each other, which is quite nice. So it's like a stop, start process, and I absolutely love that with train sim world. I like where there's a lot of train lines, where there's, you know, like you get the. I don't know if you remember a few years back they released the Azuma that goes from, I think, Stevenage up the east coast towards like Leeds and Newcastle and stuff, and I think it went as far as Doncaster, I think, from Peterborough or something like that, which, to be honest, isn't that long of a route, because I've done that line many times. It's about a 50-minute route, I think, so which is about average for train sim world. But I remember it very well, and I never ever really played that route, and I think the reason why I never played that route was because I found it very boring that you only stop at a couple of stops and there's big gaps between them. I don't like big gaps. I like local services. I like stop and start. I kind of enjoy it. It's a bit more, I give you something more to do. I mean, when you're just sitting there on a train, like you've got 16, 17 miles to kill, you're like looking at yourself and think, what am I going to do for all this time? Like, you know, it does get a little bit boring. Right, Teignmouth it is. That's a nice little area to explore just down there. I wonder if we can go and see that. I'm not sure if we can get there. We'll have a little look. Looks like a nice little bar area along the side of the seafront. We'll have a little look. Right, here we go. This is Teignmouth Station. I forgot to put the AWS on. Should have done that really, but I like the textures on this. If you look at the detail is very, very good. I like the detail a lot. They've really put a lot of effort into it, which I like. If you're going to make something good, make it well. There's a cannon there on the edge of the station. Let's see if I can get over the back there. I really want to see what that is. I don't know if we can. It's over here. Oh, here it is. Look, here we can. Look, there you go. Look. There's this little bit along here that I saw as we come into the station, I think. Is it this road? Hold on, I've lost myself. There's a road there. No, I think I've completely... Oh no, there's the line. Yeah, so we came in on here. And I think... Oh yeah, I could see this. This is what I could see, this little bit. It's nothing too exciting, it's just some houses. But I like how far you can go on the free roam when you know, you can get out to places and stuff. You can really move further along the map, which isn't restricted, which I kind of like. That, to me, yet again, is something that is exciting. You can explore more. And for me, it's all about the exploring on a lot of these routes, looking at things and saying, oh, that's good. I can go right across the water and have a look and stuff like that, you know. So that's something that I really like doing. And that's something I've always loved doing on any of these routes, is that I love doing those lovely kind of things on the routes where you can go further. You know, like, you know, when you go on the Bakerloo line, you can see Wembley Stadium in the background, but you want to get there, but you can't. You can only get so far, and it's like a bit annoying. You're like, just a few extra miles, and I could get there. Damn, you know, you really want to have a little look around, or you get to the Brighton. The East Coast line, where you've got the Brighton Stadium, and you want to go over the top, but you can't get over the top to look inside the stadium, knowing full well that there probably ain't even a stadium inside. it'd be nice to see that. But I like to explore the routes and just, I don't know, I think it makes it more fun, that you can actually have a look around and go, I can get across this island. What is this island? You look on a map of it, I'm there, oh, okay. And then look across and you can see the rest of Devon. It's beautiful, Anyway, we're off to Newton Abbot. Now this is like one of the interchange joints on this map, and I'll show you here briefly where we're going here, because this is where the line actually splits to Plymouth down here, which is quite a long route, and where we're going, Paignton. So it's quite we are on a part of the route now where we are going to be kind of hitting the main areas, you could say, like the main interchange junction. So this is where you decide whether you're going to Plymouth or Paignton, and it's a nice little journey down to Paignton. The route, I would say, is probably quite nice. I haven't done a lot of the Plymouth end yet, which is a surprise to anyone. But at Paignton, you've actually got a steam railway, and if you own one of the packs, I believe you can actually see steam engines sitting in the train in like the station and stuff, and the AI does the magic of moving it. But I haven't got that pack, sadly. I don't know why I haven't got that pack. I think I was expecting it to be the old Spirit of Steam pack, and it wasn't. It isn't that one. I think you've got to have the Forest of Dean one or something to actually get that look on it, which to be honest, I'm not going to pay to get a steam railway just to get something that looks aesthetically pleasing on the thing. If I want to on this, I can just get out the train and add it in from the Spirit of Steam. I can add the Stainer in or something, and just sit it in the platform and leave it there while I'm playing the game, But I really hate steam trains on Train Sim World. I know that they ain't doing them anymore, because I think there was some sort of thing that they don't sell well, or they don't do well, or something. So I can see why they don't. I mean, in my personal opinion, I'm not a big fan of them at all. I really, really do hate steam trains on Train Sim World. I'm not a fan of it at all. Not quite sure why I don't like the steam journeys. I think it's probably because they're not the easiest of things to drive, but also at the same point they're a bit sluggish, and I think when you've got to stop and start with them, it causes more problems than you need it to. And I've never been a fan of it. I really haven't. But all in all, it's not bad. It's not. As I say, I'm not a fan. So we've got a red signal in here. This is probably because there is a train in the station, more than likely. And I've been, when I've done this before, this game, there is always something or someone in Newton Abbot station platform that holds you up. It's a common thing, common trait, that I always get a red light at Newton Abbot. Oh, no, but I've been given the green to go. So we will go into Newton Abbot with happiness.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
Love those announcements. Love those announcements. Makes it all that much better. Now, we're probably... Oh, here we go. Still very dark out there for 5:30, but if we were playing it in the summer, I guarantee it would be a lot brighter. Oh, there we go. Look, there's a train that we might want to... I think there's one of the fast 800s going past us. That might be one of the first ones in the morning, to be honest. That's probably come from Plymouth. I think I slowed down a bit too prematurely there. And here we are at Newton Abbot. As I said, one of the main interchanges of the game. This is where you will split off and go to different areas like Plymouth and Paignton. So you got several options of where you go to. But it's good fun. It's good fun. And what I do like about this game now is if you create your own scenario, they have portals at either end. Something that they didn't have on the original game, sadly. But you have portals where you can go off, so you can bring more trains into play. So it gives you more fun, and you can go to more areas and stuff. Which it means that if you send off a train to a portal, you can bring it back through the portal and do another service. So it's good fun.
This is Newton Abbot. This is a Great Western Railway.
I pushed the wrong button there. I opened the wrong side. I'm going to lock them. Anyway, let's have a little look around Newton Abbot Station.
And Paignton.
For some reason my doors, I don't think, have unlocked. I don't know what's going on here. Right, let's have a look over here. Look, we've got the liquid bean calf, a cup to keep you on the track. These adverts are really random. Elegance demands perfection. It's a scone and not a biscuit. I don't know if that's even a real thing, a company, but it might be. I mean, I suppose it's a product placement if it is. Barbados, there you go, all-inclusive holiday, random advert. I don't know why you'd want that on Newton Abbot. It's not like you can get to Barbados from Newton Abbot, right? I don't know what's going on here. This is... I'm pushing the door buttons and something's going wrong with my doors. Have we locked both sides? I think we have. I think we're good to go. Right, let's go. Get out of here. We need to get to Tor next. Here we go. Off we go. So this is where we're heading. We should make it by 5:33. Sorry, not 5:33. We should make it by, I think, is it 54? 50. So we got a bit of a way to go. So this part of the track is actually 40 for most of the way, unless you go on the fast line, which is a 60. So it will vary as we go along. And what a good improvement of this game is now, they actually put in temporary speed limits. So sometimes you might drive along and there might be like a 40 in place or a 20 and you have to slow right down. It's quite a good thing, and you can you can set the setting as well, because I can put the setting on to allow it to happen more randomly, which I absolutely love. So it's almost like I'm almost waiting for something to happen. You can also get brake failures and train engine failures and stuff like this, and it'll pop up and say your engine's failed and you have to restart your engine and stuff. It's pretty good what they've actually done to the game to make it a little bit more like real life. And I think, you know, that's what the players want. They want more detail, they want more real life, and I know I certainly do. I might not play it like I'm playing it in real life, because, you know, I accept it's a game, but the more realistic you make it, surely the more fun it becomes as a game, right? So we're just on this slow bit of track at the moment. We're going to be going into the fast section about now. But, you know, you've got this lovely little roadway here, look, which is very good. But I do notice one little slight mistake, and let's see if you can notice it as well. But if you look at the cars, look at the direction of the cars. He's coming down here on the wrong side of the road, and... oh no, sorry. It's my mistake. I actually thought they were... it's a dual carriageway, but I don't know why you got two roads like this. Like, it is a bit weird. And if my camera gets in the way of a car, it'll stop. Look. Thank you, mate. Thanks for stopping. You know? I love things like this, because it's just so ridiculous, you know. But I don't know why there's two dual carriageways together. I don't know if that's the right road link. I don't know. I'm going to have to check that again and see. I'll put a picture in the corner if it is. Because it seems weird having two dual carriageways directly next to each other, one going up, one going down. Surely you'd do like an A road does. You'd have two on each side going. I think that might be a little error on their behalf of making the game. But we're about 40 minutes into this journey, and oh, here we go. You've noticed up in the top corner we've got a temporary 40 in place. So it means when we get to that marker, we're going to have to, for a very short period of time, we're going to go down to 40. So I'm going to start preparing for that a little bit. I'm going to start reducing the speed a little bit, just get it down a little bit, because I always miss these temporary things. But this is the sign that you're looking for. So if you look up in the top right hand corner where you can see my distance and my score, you'll notice that there's a 40 coming up just before the 60. What I'll do is I'll zoom up onto that now for you so you can see what I'm on about. There you go. So I'm going to have to slow down in time for that restriction, which is a new little part of the game, which I absolutely love. Another addition where you might get those temporary restrictions, which is all fun. You know, it's nice because in the real world you would get those restrictions. They do exist, and you might even be able to see the yellow marker. There's normally like a little yellow marker on the side of the railway where you can actually see the actual. I don't know if we're going to see it because it's quite dark. But if I zoom in a little bit, you might be able to see it. I don't know. Oh, there it is. There it is. See it? There it is. See it? Boom. So now we're on a temporary 40, and then you can see a sign here, another one, which says T, I think, which means the end of that restriction. And I think that means we'll be back on to a 60. Yeah, there we go. And then you can speed up. Not that it's going to be worth much, but we're coming up to a 45. But you see, that little thing there is just a part of the game that makes it all a little bit interesting. I love it. I think it's absolutely brilliant. And it does make things exciting in the game, because it is like, as I say, real life. It's what would happen really on the train line. You would get temporary restrictions. It does happen. So yeah, I do like what they've done to this. It's an aesthetically pleasing route, and yeah, I haven't got the new one yet, the Birmingham to Crewe. I've heard a lot of bad rap about it at the moment, so I'm waiting until they do the fixes on it before I venture into buying it. I always think sometimes people are very eager to buy new routes, maybe a bit too eager, and it ends up biting you. And sometimes it's just better to wait until you know that the game's a bit stable. I still haven't bought the Wales route yet, either the Cardiff local one. There's something about that route that I just wasn't interested in, and I still haven't bought the other overground route, which I really wanted. But at the time when it came out, there was a lot of problems with it, and it put me off. And then it's never gone down in price, and for what it's worth, I always thought it really isn't worth the money, and so I never bought it, and I never, sadly, got round to buying the route. But I have bought most routes, which I have got, and I do like a lot of the routes. But there's a lot of routes, as I say, I haven't got. I don't actually own, which a lot of people says, like, you know, you should go and get them. They're good. But you know, like sometimes you see that route, like for instance the overground, the Mildmay route, and you just think to yourself, is it worth my hassle? Like, is it worth my time? Like, people say it's a good route, people say it's clunky, some say it's good. It's got such mixed reviews. I don't want to be spending 24 quid on something that might not be that great. So I kind of tempt fate, and what I'm doing is I'm technically waiting for it to go down in a sale, like, and I mean go right down. I mean, I'm not talking just by a couple of quid. I'm talking like it needs to go down big style. Like, you know, if I'm going to buy it, I want it for like at least 30 quid. 20 quid at minimum. Anyway, here we come into Tor, and I think we're only about 2 stations away now from our final destination. Nice stopping there, nice stopping. What I like about these stations down this part of the route, they've got these old signs on the station platforms, which would have been part of the original concept of the, you know, the steam railway that might have been here in the day, which I really like. And it's a nice model of train. Never seen this before. Mind the step. I always thought it was mind the gap, but I guess that is a thing. And we're off to Torquay. Now I know Torquay. I know there's a lot of good things about this actual station, because I know someone who lives nearby and has visited it, and I've seen videos of it, and there is, the way it looks is how it looks in real life. They've done some really good detail to it, and I'll kind of see if I can show you what I mean when we get there. But we're going to be there in a very, well, we're going to be there very, very soon. As you can see from the map, we are literally round the corner from it. So I'll show you exactly what I mean, and how, yet again, how aesthetically pleasing it is to see that they've kept it to real life, and how good they've really made it look and sound. Okay, so let's take the speed down a little bit. We are going downhill. I'm going to have to put a bit of a brake on here, or we're going to end up speeding excessively bad.
We are now approaching Torquay.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
You could walk from Torquay, from Tor, to be honest with you. It's probably a very quick walk. I mean, you probably don't need a train station, right? But as how close some of these stations are on this line, they are quite close. So here it is the platform arriving. Let's put it onto that view so you can see the station. And here we go. We're just coming into it now. I think we're probably going to, oh no, we might be alright. I was going to say we're going to come in a bit fast, but I think we've just timed that well. Look at that. Yeah, not bad. So the bit I'm on about is this building here, this white building. This is actually, this does exist in real life. And this slope out the station exists as well, down the road here. That does exist. I've seen video footage of my friend leaving the station and walking down this pathway, down a hill, past the white building. It's very good how they've done it. It's very good. I am very pleased with what they've done to make it as lifelike as physically possible. It is very pleasing to see that they've put a lot of detail and time into this. Anyway, we're off to, I think, our last station, I think. Maybe we've got one more, I think. I think we might have... No, it is our last station. Here we go. We're off to our last station, Paynton, 2 miles away. And that'll be the end of our journey on this line. And I don't think we've got a lot of people actually on our train, by the way. There's a passenger there. It is an early start, but the only thing I would say that does annoy me about Train Sim World is sometimes the passenger ratios are quite tame, and sometimes passengers don't get on your train, and I always think if you're doing a scenario, never start your train off as empty, always start as loaded, because you know you're going to have passengers then. And whilst probably most of them will get off on the first station, because that tends to happen, it's like a bug within the game, you still have some on there to deal with. So you're still technically transporting passengers, which, ironically, is a bit of a thing. So we've got 5 minutes before we get to this station. Still no real signs of daylight coming through. So it looks like we're going to be, the whole route's going to be in darkness, by the looks of it. But we have been travelling now for 50 minutes on this line. 50 minutes. It's a really impressive route that we've been driving the train for 50 minutes. You get like an hour's worth of playtime on this route. I do like that a lot. It is, with a longer route, you do get more time, and a lot of the routes are around about 50 to an hour, even on the fast trains. So it is fun that you do get long routes. Sometimes I find the long routes are a little bit too long. I particularly like the Manchester Airport route. I don't know if anyone's played that. I think probably most of you have now. It's quite an old route. Well, I suppose I say it's an old route. It's new, but it's old. If you know what I mean. It's been a bit around for a bit now. I think probably about 6 months. But I always find that quite good because everything's quite close and compact, and I really did like that about the game. I thought that was an exciting part of the game, that it was there, and it really did impress me that they made it so short, because I like that. I like the fact that you've got the shortness in it, and you can do quick runs from Stockport to Manchester, and you've got all that good excitement, and you can do a lot of shuttle runs on it. And that's the sort of gameplay that I enjoy. Now, it is raining outside. I'm not going to put my wipers on. I'm one of these people that don't really muck around with the wipers. I'm not a fan of the wipers, to be honest with you. I don't see the point of the wipers when you think about it. I don't really think about the wipers as an issue. I know people will put the wipers on for realism, but I'm writing in paint and it's hardly worth me putting them on. I would put them on, but I'm not a normal route. Providing that I was, doing well, I'd put them on. But as I'm literally seconds away, what's the point? I think you do get extra points, I think, if you do put your wipers on, but I'm not sure. But we have got a red light here, which is annoying. I think we might be a little bit early again. But this is quite good, actually, because before I get into the station, I'm going to show you some key features of Paynton very quickly. In fact, it's giving me a yellow light. So I'm going to show you... I will show you some... I think we've got an engine failure, actually, because... Have we got an engine failure? I don't know. Seems our train's lost a bit of throttle. Might be wrong. Oh, we're on 15. Oh my, oh dear. Oh dear. There we go, we're right. And we just arrived in Paynton. Very old station. I actually remember being in Paynton, actually, on holiday, and I remember that certain parts of this station. I didn't actually use the station, but I'll show you what I did do in a second. It's really raining, isn't it? Look at that rain. It's coming down. They've all got their umbrellas up. And there's our last station on the route. And before we do anything more, I'll just quickly show you what I want to show you. Over here, in this part of the station, over, where is it? I'm trying to find it. So this is what I remember when I was a kid, and I remember getting up on this bridge here, this footbridge. You can't really see it that well in the dark. There's a footbridge here, and I remember taking a picture looking down at Paynton Station. Over here, when you come through here, you've got this bit here, which is the steam railway, which is here. You can see like this. You've got this here, this thing. But yeah, you've got the steam railway here, and if you've got the right pack, it will put AI stuff. And if you can just see that come up there, right at the very end, one of my engines have stalled. It's not essential at this point of the game, because obviously, even though it has stalled, there's no point me starting it because it's my last station. So it's not going to matter no odds to me whether I've got a stalled engine or not, because it is the end of my route, and you can get that along your route if you're lucky. So if you play the game, you might get that. But we have completed this. It has been quite an eventful journey. I don't know why I've got locked doors and nothing's happening, which is a bit worrying. I don't know what's going on with this game. But yeah, again, could be another bug of the game. Who knows? Quite embarrassing, really. Unless it wants me to... Oh, no, it's done it. There we go. And there's the end of the game. And we didn't do too bad on score-wise. We had a little bit of speeding. We had no safety issues. No wipers in range, 0. We knew that though, didn't we? We had no hard impacts or any problems with the junction, so we've done very well. We were quite early actually to start off with, but by the time we had got to Teignmouth, we actually were on time, and we sort of made up a minute eventually, but we were late. We were never late, so we done quite well. But there we go. There's the overall figures. There's the overall stats. That is the route. Hope you've enjoyed this one. And next time you'll see me on this route, it will be daytime, and I can show you some glorious, glorious life from around the Dawlish area as we'll do a little special. How about that? Okay, thanks for joining me. Until next time, goodbye.